And today's topic is going to be really interesting because we're reframing things yet again. So we're going to take arts-based pedagogy,
Right.
which we've talked about before, but we're going to look at arts-based pedagogy as a means for classroom assessment.
Right. It's a perfect vehicle for formative assessment.
Great. Okay, let's talk about then our experiences with that and try to convince the naysayers about this that it actually does work.
It actually works. And my favorite tool is the wall of wonder.
And why wouldn't you be excited with a name like that?
Exactly, which I think I stole. So I really, I'm going to give a disclaimer about that right away. So
Yes.
whoever I'm plagiarizing, I'm very apologetic. But I couldn't think of another name. It works really well because you put it on a wall.
Yes, and it causes you to wonder.
It does. It causes the students to wonder.
Yes.
It works beautifully like an exit slip.
Yes.
But instead of, the student writing something down on a piece of paper and handing it to you so you get an idea of where their learning is at, I put a big piece of craft paper
Yes.
against the wall. And even if you are moving from classroom to classroom, you can still roll it up.
Yes.
Secondary
Yes.
teachers don't necessarily have their own classroom, right?
Yes.
And as the student leaves, they can take a marker, a pen, whatever, and they write right on it. And it's better, when they draw a picture.
Yes.
They could represent, that's the arts-based part.
Yes.
They can represent their learning or their takeaway by drawing on the piece of craft paper. They can put a word or two. We kind of discourage that because we really want them to think about it in a different way.
Right. Or if I could interject here,
Please
just
do.
take the words.
Yeah.
Some children are more comfortable with words, but perhaps present the words in
Right.
some sort of design or outline or something that convey
Absolutely.
their thinking beyond the word.
Or sometimes I've brought pictures from magazines where I've cut the pictures up because you know how that can go. If they're cutting, it takes forever.
Yes.
But I've just cut up a lot of, not cut them up, but cut out lots of pictures, usually
Yes.
nature type things. And they can even just find one and just put it, on the wall of wonder. That represents their feelings or thinkings or their takeaway from what we've been talking about.
Sure. And when another student sees that or you see that picture, it automatically leads to a question of,
Right.
I wonder why you chose that.
Exactly.
And then you
The
think
wall
about
of wonder.
There you go.
There's the wall of wonder.
That's why it's such a good name.
Yeah, exactly, which is why I've kept it. But you can do this as a one-off.
Yes.
Sometimes I've done it for a whole unit, like a couple weeks, and so you keep putting it up, and then you can see the progression. Sometimes I might have them start and we move down,
Yes.
but I like it better when it's kind of all thrown
Moving
in.
through.
But it really gives you a snapshot, I
Yes.
think, of what the students are thinking about and taking away around what you're doing. And it could be about in any discipline, really.
And I think that's where the assessment part comes in. That as the teacher, what you're doing is looking at those daily snapshots to see what the students are taking away. And that informs you about what the students are thinking.
Right.
But it also says, oh, all right, I've now noticed this.
Right.
I'm going to talk about that in my next
Exactly.
class.
It really helps for planning.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's wonderful. And the students don't even know they're being assessed. And, they love it.
Yes,
and
yeah.
especially when you fill up a whole piece of craft paper.
Right,
It's
right.
wonderful. So,
And I was also thinking for students who aren't comfortable always in an arts-based
Right.
format, it allows a level of comfort because each day you can go back and just chat
Right.
about these squiggly lines or these drawings or whatever and the possible meanings. And as with any work of art, the actual producer may think that they were sharing some information about this and someone else could see it differently.
right. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. You always have the students look at it as well.
Yes,
And you can
yeah.
decide whether you want to put their name on it or not. I usually don't.
Mm-hmm.
But, you may want to. That's, I think that's an individual choice.
Wonderful.
But I think more with the Wall of Wonder, maybe.
Sure.
And
yes.
we will have an example of it on our website so
Yes.
you can understand how it works and maybe even a snapshot of one.
Wonderful.
Until next time.